twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I'm not ready, Diane. I'm not ready. Well, I have it all right here in front of me, but when you have to start out your day, Muskogee County, Georgia, lovely place. I love Muskogee County, Georgia. Great patriots down there in Muskogee County, Georgia. Awesome place. Great people. Can't say enough. But when you have to get up in the morning and go through and highlight all the what I consider dishonest lies, misinformation that Josh McCoon, the current chairman of the Georgia GOP, says, and then Sally Grubbs, that wants to be first vice chair, that Cobb County went backward, and she thinks she has a plan to increase vote for 2026 when she couldn't do that in Cobb in 2024. But when you got to break all that down, and here I am right here trying to get ready, and we have the Karens of the Georgia GOP, they're at it again. I mean, we're finding safe places for them because they're sensitive people. They're very sensitive people. But you know, Diane, well, you know, Sammy, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear. Yes. Give me video. I got to do this. Give me video 15, Diane.
Afternoon, everybody. Afternoon, everybody. Afternoon, everybody. Afternoon, everybody.
Norm will probably be one of the most famous in my lifetime. Norm. Cheers, where everybody knows your name. George Wendt. He also SNL The Bears. The Bears. So, yeah, he died. And Norm, I know every episode of Cheers. I can go on and on. So I just wanted to start with that. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear. Now, we have a lot to talk about. And the continued cover-up of the deep state completely running this country. Now, you realize, we got a lot to do here. I'm looking at the screen. Give me number 14. You do realize that Joe Biden is the first installed president. Now, we don't know what 34. What did I call 14? Is that the way this is going to start? Give me 34. How are you, Diane? I didn't even say, did I say this? How are you? I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Good morning, Diane. Now, we don't truly know, serious, all of the elections that have been manipulated, stolen, taken away, we don't know. Now, 2020 opened the eyes of millions of Americans, because millions of Americans know that 81 million Americans did not vote for Joe Biden. We know that, okay? We know that Joe didn't have his spike protein didn't go up that year. We know that, right? So, but you have to stop and think. The deep state has been involved, and it would be very lengthy in the history of this country, but we'll go with this. The deep state has not been, until Joe Biden, 100%. Now, when I say every single president, several in my lifetime, presidents would come in. There were deep state deals, okay? But the individual in the Oval Office was coherent, and the deep state would have to push back from time to time. And every once in a while, the guy in the office would want to feel like they're in charge, right? I mean, we all know I'm a Reagan Republican. I'm a Ronald Reagan Republican, but we know at the convention, the deep state said, okay, you're the nominee. You got some bold ambitions, but George H. will be your vice presidential candidate. We know that, right? So this is not anti-Reagan. We know the deep state. So every single, all right? This is a great article, by the way. Every single president goes into office, and although they got picked up, like Bill Clinton got picked up by the black SUV, get in here. We're going to take you from being a womanizer in Arkansas and just a backwoods lawyer, corrupt lawyer, whatever. We're going to take you up to the White House, Bill. But here's how it works. We know that. But every once in a while, the person in the Oval Office likes to flex and likes to feel like, you know what, I am president of the United States. And the deep state has had to push back in the past. Maybe somebody dies. Maybe someone in the administration dies. Just saying. Some kind of warning signal to that individual. Biden is the first 100%, not 99. Biden is the first 100% deep state operated Oval Office. 100%. The Auto Pen, Susan Rice down the street, Valerie Jarrett, Jen Psaki, right? The list goes on and on. Jake Sullivan, Blinken, Mayorkas, 100%. Biden never went in. Now, Jill would get upset from time to time. We can go into that later. But Biden never went in and said, but I'm president. And we don't truly know the truth on the exit strategy for him getting out of the race. But the presidency itself was 100% controlled by the deep state. And that is the mess that we're trying to, when you have 100% takeover, we're trying to reel that back. So I'll just leave that there. We're going to talk about that a little more in the show because Joe Biden, we know, all right, we're hearing about his PSA, right? Joe Biden's PSA. And, you know, when did Joe Biden, well, we'll do that after the break because we're gonna give you several things that we're going to talk about. We're going to take our break and we're going to do like, you know, we have been coming back and doing solid segments and just giving you some general of what we want to cover today. So here's another one we're going to look at today. Give me number 30. This one's going to get me in trouble. I know, 809. Why go for trouble at 809? All right. Now, I want to give you something here. Now, Charlie Kirk is a smart guy. He's a smart guy. All right. And he took the temperature of America. He took the temperature of America and he said the temperature of America is perfect timing to create a youth organization for conservative values. Now, there's only one problem, and this is where I'm going to get in trouble. I do not know the organization Turning Point USA. I do not know the organization throughout the entire country. But all I know is how it operates in Georgia, and how it operates in Georgia is under what I call a cult shield. All right. The way I see it in Georgia, because I know several of the operators and I know how cults work. And as soon as you do something that goes against the organization or tries to shine light on the organization, they excommunicate you immediately. You can't even have contact with the family anymore. That's the way they operate in Georgia. All right. Now, the reason I say this is I don't know that this is a bad guy. I've never met this guy. But I know a couple things. They're not conservatives, and it's not conservative values that they're being taught. They're being taught how to elevate their political future and how to start stepping through and getting into their political future. So we'll talk about this in the Georgia hour. But he's had the nerve. I'm fed up with rhinos. Now, this comes out of Arizona, okay? And he tapped into something because he's a smart guy out there. He's a smart guy. Give me number, all right, I had it here just a minute ago. Hang tight. Don't go anywhere. I know I have it. Let's see where it's at here. Give me number 24. In the 1960s, Young Americans for Freedom emerged as a prominent force in the conservative movement, playing a key role in shaping the political landscape of a decade and beyond. Young Americans for Freedom aimed to counter the dominant leftist trends of the era, advocating for conservative principles like free market economics, states' rights, and strong national defense. So all I'm telling you is this is, you know what this was set up for? Barry Goldwater, all right? Young Americans for Freedom, Barry Goldwater. Remember, Hillary Clinton was a Goldwater girl, right? But this is what this was, a group, Young Americans for Freedom, in the 60s that tapped in. And I got to give Charlie Kirk credit because he's gone back to this playbook Now, they're not comparable. This had a different focus and direction for young people, but he's gone back to the 1960 playbook and he created the new playbook, basically Young Americans for Freedom, Turning Point USA. So I get what he's doing, but it's not a true conservative movement. If it was a true conservative movement, there's no way that they would have endorsed Josh McCoon. So we'll talk more about that a little later. Let me see. I have one here I wanted to show you. The Georgia Hour is at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock's the Georgia Hour. Now, here's one we're going to talk about. Give me number 66. All right. So this is it. We're going to talk about the big, beautiful bill. I can hear that. Look at them big ears, listening for the big, beautiful bill. I can hear that. 1 a.m. We got you. Going to cover it. Okay. So in Georgia, we have the heartbeat bill. You have the heartbeat bill, 6 weeks. All right. Doctors' studies say that a heartbeat can be detected in 6 weeks. And that's why we call it the heartbeat bill. And you cannot have an abortion. All right. So we have the heartbeat bill. Now, the question is, this lady is brain dead. I'm not for sure what happened, but she had some kind of accident, but she's expecting. She's brain dead. I think the baby's up to 22 weeks. 22 weeks. The baby is growing. The baby was past the 6 weeks. Who has the decision here? Decision to keep brain dead pregnant woman alive raises questions of Georgia's abortion law. So the lady's brain dead. Generally, they would come to you and have a sit down with the family and say there's no brain activity. No brain activity. Experienced this with a family member last year. No brain activity. You have a decision. Okay? But in this case, they clinically say that this individual has no brain activity, being kept alive by devices. All right? But they're expecting a baby. Who makes the decision? This one's an interesting case. What say you? We're going to talk about that. The big, beautiful bill. The big, beautiful bill. Now, let me just say this, all right? Fiscal conservative, let me say this. If the interest on the debt, right? If the interest payment on the debt surpasses the federal tax, right? The federal tax anticipation, it's game over. It's game over. Now, I'm not going to say that Moody's downgrade is the most significant indicator that has come out recently, but it is game over. If the payment on the interest on the debt exceeds tax anticipation into the federal government, it's game over. You can never pay nothing but interest. I mean, we don't even have, it's like, you remember when you had that car payment and, you could put a little on the principal. So the payment was $500. We'll throw it out there. And you sent $600 in, and that went towards the principal. We're not even close to even discussing that. the collapse has to come in my lifetime, my children's lifetime, my grandchildren. I don't think that's going to be possible because we don't have that much time left. The big, beautiful bill. All right. So where are the Karens? Now, we came up with this, and we have a team that works on this, and on a daily basis, they get together. And I mean, I put it on the program, but every day, what happened is we have Karens. We have Karens in the Georgia GOP, Inc., that they get upset. They get upset very easily, and they attack, and they need a safe space. So we decided after this major attack a couple weeks ago that the Karens of the Georgia GOP, they need a safe space where they can go and not feel that someone says something homophobic or someone says something racist or something, and we don't want them upset. So every day we're getting them out. And the other day they were at the water park, and give me number one. We got them to the water park the other day, and this is number one right here. And John Fredericks, Josh McCoon, Travis Bowden, Nancy Babbitt, Marcy McCarthy, Sally Grubbs, and Debbie Duschitz. And we got them to the water park. And then just like that, number two, you blink, and the attack dog comes out. So that was 2 days ago. I mean, they're living it up. And then yesterday, give me number 8. They went to number 8. They went to, there's the Georgia GOP, the Georgia GOP Karens. There's Travis. He went to get some snacks. They added Candace Taylor in yesterday as one of the Karens. And Shelley Winters made it in as one of the Karens. And Josh has a corn dog there. And they're at the carnival there or wherever, at the amusement park in the bumper cars. And just like that, number 9, you blink, and the attack dog shows up. Every damn time you turn around, the attack dog shows up. So yesterday, we were like, well, the weather's okay. So let's, maybe they want to go, maybe they want to go out the water. It's that time of year. So give me number 20. So yesterday, the team decided that they would take the Karens, the Georgia GOP Karens. This is their safe space, so they're not around anybody to upset them. And Candace is there, Nancy Babbitt. I see Marcy. I see John Fredericks. I see, what's his name? Renner brother. What is his name? Shelley Winters. There's Debbie Duschitz in the boat. Travis doing a belly flop. There's Josh. Josh probably had to stop and use the Georgia the Shark. The Shark has the Georgia GOP credit card. Josh might have had to use that credit card, get a little sunscreen because he is awful white, like extra white. I mean, you better be careful there, Josh. Who is the new Karen? Am I missing someone? Is that Marcy? No, Marcy's there. Oh, that's Sally. Oh, Sally hanging out with Josh. That makes sense. And then you blink, number 21. The attack dog. They don't go nowhere without that damn attack dog. So then here we go. These are some of my favorites from yesterday. I gotta get serious. We're gonna come back and do some serious. This one cracked me up. I mean, I actually laughed out loud. Number 68. This is probably an inside joke. This is an inside joke. The Eagles Club, Georgia GOP Inc., Dominion, because Josh's best friend, John Garst, they are karaoke partners, and John Garst used to be a licensed Dominion lobbyist. You can't make this up. So this one was great. I love it. And then yesterday we closed with this one, Diane. This one made, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with you guys. You guys are off the chains. You are woof woof off the chains, man. Give me number 69. This is getting crazy. You guys are, I can't believe this. We closed the show with this one here. There it is. Nikki Haley 2024. That's Josh. He's got the credit card. He's got a personal trainer. I love I love the red, white, and blue Julius Irving for you children out there. That is the ABA. That's old school. Dr. J. I love the Dr. J headband. And Josh sweating it off. I mean, he was in bad shape. Look at him, a little bulked up, 3-4 chins. He needed some work. So there it is yesterday. Take that down. Now, last night in Muskogee County, Josh McCoon led you people to believe. Now, I'm going to be candid with you that he is going to support and help you overturn Sanford Bishop in the 2nd District. We shall explain his desperation move last night. All right, folks, when we get back, Joe's cognitive function, Joe's cancer, Marco Rubio, what say you? Little Marco. Take a break.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. The Georgia hour starts at 10 o'clock. We have a lot going on. We are trying to do everything we can to drain the swamp. I'd like to ask a question, and I'm going to get this out. I wish somebody would write this question down. How important is it to respect the process and the delegates that vote for people? So if you're voted for, now this is Georgia, we'll get into it. Hey, there was a off your election in Pennsylvania yesterday. Okay, off your election, local candidates in Pennsylvania, and I want to give a shout out to my mom. 82 years old. I'm probably going to get shout. I'm going to get shout. She's going to shout at me for saying that. But in the state of Pennsylvania, when they have elections, they work the polls. You have people that work the polls that ask you to vote for someone. And my mom has had, since she went through cancer treatment, she's gone through a lot physically. COVID, cancer, so many different health things. But she has worked a polling location in her neighborhood. I'm not even going to give you the number of years because I don't remember how many. And yesterday, she got her chair and she went out there and worked her poll as long as she could at the election. The polling place where you vote in her area, she worked it there for as long as she could at her age, and greeted voters that she has for years. And I just want to give her a shout out. I mean, that's amazing. What a love for your country and trying to get people to vote. Now, if we could only get the vote to count. All right, so moving right along. what was I going to say? The big, beautiful bill. So yesterday, Trump goes, and let me just throw this out here. All right. Trump goes to the Capitol, and reporters are following him all day. He goes there with Mike Johnson. And notice, I don't notice, not notice, N-O-T, not notice, notice, but A-S. They're a website, and I've read their work, and I know a couple of their reporters, actually. This reporter stopped Trump and asked a question. Give me video 14. You can't make this up. This is funny.
Who do you work for?
Notice.
Who?
Notice.
I don't even know what the hell that is. You gotta get yourself a real job. Let me tell you.
Get yourself a real job. I don't even know what the hell that is. Get your U.S. N-O-T-U-S. Notice. So there's your shout out. So now we told you this morning, okay? And Diane, a video that I'm going to play, I might have a couple stops and starts. There are people, the corruption, the level of corruption, before we get into the big, beautiful bill, we have the first presidency that was totally and completely controlled by the deep state. We have health issues. We don't know if it's Biden the fourth. We don't know which Biden was in there, right? Number 34. But we know this man, Robert Hur, the audio was released 2023. Certain lawmakers, where's it at here? I might have give me 23. Remember this one. I'm going to go back to this one. So how do we just let this go? Do we just let this go? Do we mark in history an asterisk like Barry Bonds on steroids in the record book? I'm serious. The mess we're in today. We have lawmakers at 1 a.m. this morning in the Rules Committee trying to pass an 1,100 page plus bill, right? Increases the national debt, does not have deficit spending cuts in the bill. Doesn't have it. Deficit spending will not go backwards in the bill in its current form. We are in a mess there. The deep state printed all the money they wanted to print, shoved it out the door. It is so bad, folks, in 4 years. What happens tomorrow morning, seriously, if, give me number 57, and then go from 47, I'm sorry. I want this one again in a minute. 47. And then go to 52. There's actually producers probably over at MSNBC that get up in the morning and say, did a plane fall out of the sky? Not yet. Boy, if we could just get a plane to fall out of the sky. These people are sick. They're evil people. Every day. The big, beautiful bill. The debt crisis. $1 trillion infrastructure package. And your air traffic controllers and your tower and your radar, all the above. Wars, things unsettled, your southern border, your northern border. Every single disaster fully and completely manipulated, and you, the American people, lied to. Now, when When did you feel your government lies to you? Where were you at what point in life? For me, I knew the government kept things from me. Okay, we're not going to analyze that, but for me, it really was 9/11 because I did not want to believe that my government, my country, tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, would allow that to happen. No, they wouldn't allow that to happen. That is the downhill, that the trust level. And then after that, weapons of mass destruction, taking us into 2 wars. So the point being is, now Joe has cancer. Now these people are corrupt. That's not a free press. I'm tired of hearing the First Amendment that we need a free press. We need these people in prison. They hid this from us. Go ahead and give me 53. Now, I'm not going to get into the medical side, all right? Biden's last screening for prostate cancer was about 2014, spokesperson says. All right? I'm not going to get into the medical side, but I'm going to tell you something. Every male out there should be at least once a year having your blood work done, checking your oil, as I say, having your blood work done, having your PSA, see if it's elevated, having that done. Every 5 years, whether you like it or not, when you hit 50 years old, I think a colonoscopy, whether you like to hear this or not, especially if you're president of the United States. And then we know the staff knew all along that this guy wasn't. The pardons. Give me this one here, number 22. The deep state for 4 years. I know the deep state has existed for much longer, but this is the first administration. This guy right here. He should not be running. You know how many people? Why do you think Anthony Fauci lied to Congress under oath? Why do you think Anthony Fauci wanted that preemptive pardon? Why did these people want a preemptive pardon from someone that their cognitive function, Joe has no idea who he pardoned and why? This man shouldn't be, Cuomo should not be running for mayor. He should be in prison. We have people that killed your grandparents. They killed your grandparents. They set your children back for years. We have a shot that we have people that die. Are you not? You can't just gloss over Joe has cancer and, well, they hid this from us. They came to you and said, we need billions of dollars for Ukraine. They could win. Who told us they could win? Joe Biden? Joe Biden would sit in a chair in the Oval Office. The most embarrassing thing in the world. The person who was visiting, right? They were set up. There was no media in there. They take 2 or 3 pictures, get out. And the individual that was in there, no matter a president from a foreign country, a prime minister, no matter who it is, they were told immediately, do not talk to Joe while the cameras are rolling. Joe, you don't talk back. You just smile. Okay? We watched the guy throughout the country. We got attacked. We were the bad people because he wandered off and they had to bring him back. We were the bad people because we watched him fall off a bicycle. We were the bad people because he could not walk up and down the stairwell of the Air Force One. You and I were talked to, treated as the most evil people in the world, knowing his cabinet, knowing his vice president, knowing his staff, knowing his chief of staff, knowing the lady that went out and lied for him every day. They should all be in prison. Little Muffin came out and lied every single day. They had freaks running things. Absolute freaks they were putting in offices. Now, number 23, right? Biden's deterioration. Biden's deterioration unnerved House Dems as early as 2023. Some of the first House Democrats to call for Biden to drop out of the re-election bid in 2024 saw firsthand signs of deterioration as early as 2023, according to a new book. Why according to a new book? Do you realize while this is happening, people like Jamie Raskin knows. They know this. People like Adam Schiff, that was not a senator at this time in Congress, they know this. Jamie Raskin, they're all trying to keep Trump off the ballot. Everything they can do. Every one of them are suppressing any information coming out, and they've got innocent people in prison from January 6th. Those are the bad people, January 6th. And then you have all these networks carrying the water that on January 6th, police officers were beaten and killed, not Ashley Babbitt. And I'm sitting here today, I'm thinking, okay, what's the strategy? How in the hell? Hunter Biden, the laptop, they got away with that for 4 years. You know, I'm thinking to myself, how in the hell can these people write a book and profit off a book saying they were concerned about the deterioration of Joe Biden when my country is in a flat out mess? Who pays? Who pays for cleanup? Right? So give me this. These people should be in prison. So this is Trump, video 4. And I'm going to stop it, video 4. I'm going to stop it once it gets going, okay?
Mr. President, Mr. President's going to say, with the ratings downgrade from...
Do you want to respond to President Biden being diagnosed with cancer? Are you going to call your predecessor?
I think it's very sad, actually. I'm surprised that it wasn't, the public wasn't notified a long time ago, because to get to stage 9, that's a long time. I just had my physical. You saw that. You saw the results of that particular test. I think that test is standard to pretty much anybody getting a physical, good physical. We had the doctors at the White House and over at Walter Reed, which is a fantastic hospital. I did a very complete physical, including cognitive tests. I'm proud to announce I aced it. Got them all. I got them all right. You proud of me? Yes. Your husband would be proud of me for getting them all right. It's a little risk. If I didn't get them all right, these people would be after me. It would be not a good situation. But I think, frankly, anybody running for president should take a cognitive test. They say it's unconstitutional, but I would say in that particular case, having a cognitive test wouldn't be so bad. But when you take tests, medical, as a male, that test is very standard. I don't know if it's given to everybody, but it's given just about. And it takes a long time to get to that situation. Now, I think to get to a stage 9, I think that if you take a look, it's the same doctor that said that Joe was cognitively fine. There was nothing wrong with him.
Okay, stop there. I want to finish it. The same doctor that said he was cognitively fine. Nothing wrong with it. Now you got to keep in mind, because I'm gonna wrap this up in a minute. You got to keep in mind, And the reason I want to do this right now is because when I read that Vladimir Putin said, said this, and Zelensky says this, and the tariffs and what has happened in this country, and they attack President Trump, I think to myself, how dare you attack Trump and say that Putin is rolling over him, and when you had a guy and the deep state allowed a war to start? How dare you do that? Now, remember, all during the campaign, right, it was Trump, the cognitive functions. He slipped going up there. Did you see Trump slip? Did you see Trump's hands tremble, right? Did you see him hold the cup underneath? I mean, they would go and looked for anything because they knew all along that on any given day, Biden was going to get totally exposed. Now, you and I, but they weren't going to be able to cover it any longer. And maybe you think, well, the debate was that day. All right. What happened after the debate? These producers and these executives started saying, that was it. That was it. That's the line in the sand. We wondered when this day would come, and that was it. We have to start pretending like we don't know. But the point is, Trump is telling you, the same doctor that's hiding the cancer, the cognitive function. They don't talk about Trump's cognitive function any longer. Now, go on with that video before we get to the next one.
He said, if it's the same doctor, he said there was nothing wrong there. And that's being proven to be a sad situation. And the auto pen is becoming a very big deal. You know, the auto pen is becoming a big deal because it seems like that maybe was the president who ever operated the auto pen. But when they say that that was not good, they also, you have to look and you have to say that the test was not so good either. In other words, there are things going on that the public wasn't informed, and I think somebody's going to have to speak to his doctor, if it's the same, or even if it's two separate doctors. Why wasn't the cognitive ability, why wasn't that discussed? And I think the doctor said he's just fine, and it's turned out that's not so. It's very dangerous. Look, this is no longer politically correct. This is dangerous for our country. Look at the mess we're in. You're talking about all these questions on Ukraine and Russia. That would have never happened. As an example, if I were president, would have never happened. The other thing is you have to say, why did it take so long? I mean, when this takes a long time. It could take years to get to this level of danger. So it's a very, very sad situation, and I feel very badly about it. And I think people should try and find out what happened, because I'll tell you, I don't know if it had anything to do with the hospital. Walter Reed is really good. They're some of the best doctors I've ever seen. I don't even know if they were involved, but a doctor was involved in each case. Maybe it was the same doctor, and somebody is not telling the facts. It's a big problem.
In the case of El Salvador,
cognitive test, same doctor. The auto pen was running. Whoever was the president, the auto pen, who was in charge of the auto pen. Cognitive, they've known this all along. But here's what he said. This should have never happened. Now keep that in mind. Why is this important to me this morning? Well, you have the big, beautiful bill, and you've got so much more out there. Why? Because the bottom line is, it's just like the man said. This is dangerous. And it would have never happened. Never happened. Now, listen, this guy should be in prison. I'm going to play a couple clips. But remember when they went after Joe Biden and this guy gave you the middle finger? Well, I might stop this tape. Give me video 2.
But comparing that guy's mental state, I've said it for years now, he's cogent. Mm-hmm. But I undersold him when I said he was cogent. He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, because he's been around for 50 years. And, you know, I don't know if people know this or not. Biden used to be a hothead. Sometimes that Irishman would get in front of the reasoning. Sometimes he would say things he didn't want to say. This is, and I don't really, you know what, I don't really care. Start your tape.
All right, I want to back up about 8 seconds. Right? He's at the top of his game. Now, they know this. They know. Every one of these people know this. They are part of the puzzle of the deep state. I mean, why these people are allowed to broadcast and why the hell I'm watching them. But I have to keep up with the evil side. I don't like it. I don't come in here and say, oh, I can't wait for that damn Morning Joe to come on. But I know the evil that they spew. And I know someone has to battle it. And that someone is me. I'll do it every day. I don't like it. I remember this morning very clear. This particular morning that we watch in the video, I remember it very clear. Diane remembers it. We broke it down that day, right? We do it every day here. This is like yesterday. These guys know this. I would not be upset. All hell would break loose. All hell would break loose. And they would claim he's a dictator and a tyrant and an authoritarian and what we have done and due process and all the bullshit that goes with it. But I wouldn't give a damn right now if they went over there with a team, evacuated the building at MSNBC, and padlocked the door and said, you're closed. You no longer can get a daily license to lie to the American people to the point it's so dangerous. Now, play the rest of that, Diane.
Say things he didn't want to say. This is, and I don't really, you know what, I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it. And you.
Holy mackerel. F you if you can't handle the truth. This is the best Biden ever. This is back in the primary. They all know. This is the best Biden ever. Best one ever. Intellectually, he's on top of his game. They should shut this place down. All right, now, the PSA test. Now, listen to the same guy talk about the PSA test. And what I do enjoy about this video is how angry Minka, she is one angry Minka. Give me video 16.
We're going to have the latest on former President Joe Biden's cancer diagnosis and the growing concerns his health may have been deteriorating while he was in office.
By the way, this whole thing, sorry, Mike, we'll ask you later, but this whole thing, I didn't take a PSA test since 2014. Why? You're running for president of the United States and you're not taking a PSA test for 6 years before you're going into the office, and then for 4 years while you're in the office? We'll talk about that in a little bit, but there's no good answer to that. That's either a lie or it's extraordinarily reckless. There's no good answer to that. That's 2014, and I will say I don't believe it. 2014, I know a lot of guys. They don't go, you know what? I'm going to get my mineral level. I want to see what my potassium level is. But I don't want to know what my PSA is. It just doesn't happen. in the real world. It just doesn't happen.
Especially when you're president of the United States.
Yeah. But I'm saying even beyond that, it's not how guys think. That's like, and that's not what their doctors tell them. It's like PSA test once every 6
doctors
months.
are like Star Wars.
Once every 6 months, you got to get it. I don't know a doctor that doesn't say that.
Yeah. So we're also gonna.
I actually enjoy when I see Minka really, really getting angry. Now, all of a sudden, Joe, PSA test, he didn't get one? I thought he was on top. I thought this was the best Biden ever. Remember that, Joe? The best Biden ever. But you got to remember, this would have never happened. Everything goes back to Kevin Bacon, right? It would have never happened if in Georgia there would not have been a stolen election. This would have never happened that if in Pennsylvania they would not have been a stolen election. This would have never happened if they would not have lied to the American people and said there was 81 million votes. This would have never happened. And I have to break it to you. This is a mess. This is a mess. There's only one person that has the guts, the courage, that won't flinch, that stands half a chance. And that's Donald J. Trump. And I tell you what, he's not going to quit. But I will tell you this. I'm concerned this morning that Elon Musk has thrown up his hands. And I hope that's not the case. I'm concerned that Elon Musk has thrown up his hands and said, "To hell with you people." This is the most, I think he was in D.C. long enough to say, this is the most evil, corrupt situation. Give me video 11.
These people are evil people.
All right, folks, give me number 65. This guy right here, Benny Thompson, and this guy right here, this morning, they were at, all right, Jamie Raskin and Benny Thompson. Benny Thompson from Mississippi chaired the January 6th committee. Raskin did everything he can. He was on the January 6th committee. They have, preemptive pardons. They got pardons from the auto pen. They should not even be at this meeting this morning. They should be in prison. So I said this before. I'm like, okay, what is the, how do you feel about the DOJ? Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. Kash Patel, we played it yesterday. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino said Epstein didn't kill himself. I mean, Epstein killed himself, right? That's what they said. Tucker Carlson and Sean Ryan said that's a lie. Wow. All right. Take a break. Marco Rubio, I want to cover that briefly when we return. I have a question for you. You got to answer. Take a break.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCar Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report. Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
Good morning, folks. I am your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com, 9:07 a.m., May 21st. Diane, how are you? Good. Glad to hear it. 10 o'clock, the Georgia Hour. The Georgia Hour at 10 o'clock. And we will show you the Karens of the Georgia GOP and all the safe zones. We will show you at 10 o'clock that already Candace is crying, whining and crying. I can't stand when Candace starts whining, and she does. She's a whiner. But anyhow, we'll show you that. Show you where Josh is misleading people. Let's see. First vice chair, Sally Grubbs. They don't want the new people. God forbid you say you're new. So my question, and I'm going to analyze this, and I want you to ask it. This is the best event. I wish it could have Muskogee County GOP. I wish it could have had some more tables involved, and there was more time. And I'd really like to do this event with these people, with both candidates, like bringing Josh and David to the table at the same time, the two candidates, because I have to tell you, these people asked the best questions of anywhere. Now, there wasn't a moderator. Well, I got to get into that later. So we'll have the Georgia Hour at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, the Georgia Hour. Now, I want to ask a quick question before I get into the big, beautiful bill, because we're going to do the big, beautiful bill today. All right. So, Marco Rubio. Now, I told you this already. I told you this. The Constitution, not to get, hey, Diane, give me number 4. I just like that up there. Oh, by the way, did I say hello? Yes, I think I did. We'll get through that. Anyhow, the Constitution has so many, it's very clear on foreign policy. And the Secretary of State is in the executive branch, foreign policy, and they do not, the judicial does not have the leverage over foreign affairs. And Rubio is very strong on that. So yesterday he testified, and here's the only thing I don't like, and if you're new to the show, very seldom will you see testimony at one of these committees played on this program, because I've said for years the committees are set up for theater. They're theater, and you have a jackass asking questions, and you have someone, maybe one of the cabinet members or someone in the administration, that they don't get a chance to answer because they're trying to get a sound bite. That usually a committee meeting is set up for sound bites leading to donations. It's all money driven. So this is one of the few times that I want to play Marco's, and then I'm actually going to play the one from the TV, because I got to put that one also. Give me, where is Marco's? I have it here. Give me video 5. Listen to Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, Van Hollen from Maryland.
In the case of El Salvador, absolutely. Absolutely. We deported gang members, including the one you had a margarita with. And that guy is a human trafficker, and that guy is a gangbanger, and the evidence is going to be clear. In the days to come, you're going to see who you went to defend.
Senator, please, Secretary Rubio has the floor. Mr. Chairman, he can't make unsubstantiated comments like that. Secretary Rubio has the floor. You've had your time. Secretary Rubio should take that testimony to the federal court of the United States, because he hasn't done it under oath.
Here's another point, okay? There is a division in our government between the federal branch and the judicial branch. No judge in the judicial branch cannot tell me or the president how to conduct foreign policy.
Can't do it. He's correct. Can't do it. But he threw in the margarita. So let's hear it from the network. Let's go with, where's the one that I had a network one. Where's it at? There's Marco number 5. We played that one. Let's see. Wait a minute. I had another one with little Marco. Hold on. Give me video 7. Thank you, Diane, for your patience. Video 7.
Like the McCarthy-era witch hunts of the 1950s, your campaign of fear and repression is eating away at foundational values of our democracy. Back then, it took one voice, Attorney Joseph Welch, to cut through the hysteria with the simple question that marked the beginning of the end of that shameful era. He asked Senator McCarthy, have you no sense of decency? And I would ask you the same, Secretary Rubio. But you have shown through your words and your actions what the answer is. And I have to tell you directly and personally that I regret voting for you for Secretary of State.
Well, first of all, your regret for voting for me confirms I'm doing a good job. In the case of El Salvador, absolutely. Absolutely. We deported gang members, including the one you had a margarita with. And that guy is a human trafficker, and that guy is a gangbanger, and the evidence is going to be clear. In the days to come, you're going to see who you went to jail.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Rubio has the floor.
Mr. Chairman, he can't make unsubstantiated comments like that.
Secretary Rubio has the floor.
Secretary Rubio should take that testimony to the federal court of the United States because he hasn't done it under oath.
Wow. So what say you? McCarthyism, right? McCarthyism. The witch hunt. This is the example of what they're talking about. The witch hunt, McCarthyism. I had one here I wanted to show you because give me number. Let's see if this is it. No, that's not it. Hold on just a minute. I got one. So what say you where Marco Rubio? I wish I would have never voted for you. Now, Marco Rubio got a unanimous vote. He got a unanimous vote. And so go ahead. Give me number. Let's see here. Number 55, Rubio faces wrath from former colleagues in testy Senate hearing. The New York Times, Senate Democrats grill defiant Rubio on Trump policies. And then there's this one, number 50. You heard about the white people they let in, right? You heard about that they let some white people in. Wow, you can't make this up. They're going nuts over the white people from South Africa, but they let white people in. All right, so here's my question to you on Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. What kind of grade do you actually give him? And here's the big question. Remember when Trump was asked at the one of his interviews about, I think Kirsten Wilker on the Sunday show, what do you think about your predecessor? Who is going to be? And he says, well, obviously it's supposed to be J.D. Vance, but we have a lot. Trump opened the door. We have a lot of talented people out there. Marco Rubio, remember that? Now, if you go and do a search today, you will find a lot of J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio pictures. J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio just together with their wives were over at the Vatican to meet the Pope. So I just want to roll this out. It's really early. Is Marco Rubio J.D. Vance's VP pick? Is that the ticket? Vance, Marco Rubio? Or is Rubio going to try to leapfrog? After the 2026, watch this and I'll move on. The only reason I bring this up is I'm impressed with Marco Rubio right now. I remember the Marco Rubio that was from Florida. That was a Tea Party darling. Okay. Rubio came into existence out of Florida as a Tea Party darling. Rubio didn't have really any money. The family was driving a minivan. I think, was he a state? I'm doing this off the top of my head. You can check me out. Was he a state senator, Florida state senator or something when he ran for Congress? And then he bumped up to Senate. He started out in Congress, but he was a Tea Party favorite, right? We supported him. Got in there. I also remember the Gang of Eight. Remember the Gang of Eight? And I remember Amnesty Rubio, right? Amnesty Rubio was not sitting and preaching about getting gangbangers and, these drug dealers and so forth. He was Amnesty Rubio. So I get his metamorphosis and his turn. So I know he could go back. I guess I'll leave it there. I'm impressed with him at the current point. I am impressed with him at the current time. Current time, I'm impressed. Well, what say you? There's a lot on the plate. I don't think he's doing bad worldwide. I really don't. But what say you? Is he part of the ticket? Let me tell you what to watch for. The midterms. This is the way it works. It always works like this in politics. As soon as the midterms end, that's when they start making a decision that they want to get out of the administration and get their job somewhere or start their campaign, period. All right? Now, the big, beautiful bill. Let's see what I have here first and foremost. So, first of all, we have a problem with the fact, all right, and I want you to think about this. Video 12. Now, we're going in the big, beautiful bill, but we're going into 2026. Give me video 12.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And the difference is, of course, 24, Trump's on the ballot. Right. And what we found time and again, what Republicans have found time and again, when Trump is on the ballot, they do better. When Trump is not on the ballot, they do worse. And Trump's not going to be on the ballot again.
Yeah, some enthusiasm for the midterms.
All right, so we got midterms coming up, and Trump is not on the ballot. He's not on the ballot. We have 9, and I'm going to clear this up in the Georgia hour because I did not like what Josh did last night. I can't look people in the eye and try to manipulate a situation like Josh McCoon can, and I'm gonna show you what he did. So right now we have nine districts that I don't know if this bill's going to pass. I really don't, because we have 9 districts that Trump flipped congressionally in Biden areas by 0.5%, maybe 1%. And Democrats really think in 2026 that they can sell people in those districts that Republicans are going to take their health care, Republicans are going to starve their children, Republicans are going to come in and take the food out of their pantries, their kids are going to be hungry, you can't go to the doctor, they're going to kick you off Social Security. If you're disabled, they're going to tell you got to get your fat ass up and go to work. I'm just saying, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but that's what they're going to do. There's 9. Now, you keep hearing SALT, and I won't spend time on that. And we did it the other day, the 26th. So that's part of the big, beautiful bill that they're compromising is the SALT exemption. And what SALT is, not Morton's, not iodines, not sea salt, it is state and local tax deduction. Salt. The state and local tax salt deduction permits taxpayers who itemize when filing federal taxes to deduct certain taxes paid to state and local governments. Now, the Republicans in Illinois, the Republicans in California, the Republicans in New York, the Republicans in New Jersey, the Republicans in Michigan, the list goes on. The Republicans in the blue states, that their state tax is enormous and their local taxes are enormous, and they're living somewhere where, you know, their local taxes are absolutely through the roof because they need 9 new fire trucks. I mean, the list goes on, right? But here's the point. They want this deduction to be as high as they could possibly get it, as high as they possibly could get it, because they're in blue states and they're like, hey, help a Republican out in Illinois, help a Republican out in New Jersey. So that is when every time you hear the salt tax, just keep in mind, if you're studying, it's the state and local tax deduction that you could take on your federal tax. So that seems to be an argument point on the big, beautiful bill. Then you have number 35, AJC. You have what could cuts to food stamps mean for Georgians? On the Washington Wednesday edition of the Politically Georgia Journalism for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the big, beautiful bill, right? What could it mean? So they're going to push Andrew Clyde, Congressman Andrew Clyde, all right? And they are pushing an opponent, a primary opponent. They want to lead you to believe that your kids are going to starve. Illegals, you can't pay the bill any longer. Period. You can't do it. And I told you this 3 days ago. The able-bodied Americans, that was... Now, give me number 41. President Trump tries to unify Republicans to pass the agenda bill. Here he is again, number 42. Here is what they want to lead you to believe on CNN that's going to happen. Now, I have to tell you this. I told you before, I understand why they are putting the bill into one package. I understand reconciliation. I understand they can only use it one time. I understand to stop debate on the floor of the Senate, you can use reconciliation and you could do it with 51 votes, move it out to the floor, close debate, and vote on it. So I don't like anything about it. I don't like that the country has gotten to this point. I don't like that this is how we have to solve something. All right? Now, I'm not going to attack Republicans, but I'm going to tell you this. At 1 o'clock this morning, they are in there right now. They want you to believe, number 43, that the Trump's agenda bill cuts funding for food stamps, $267 billion cuts federal support for Medicaid to $698 billion, increase budget deficit by $3.8 trillion, okay? Now, the CBO has never, well, when I say never, they don't get it correct. The Congressional Budget Office, they do not and cannot score a piece of legislation. It can't happen anymore because they front load they front load the legislation with this will happen now, and then they go in the back of the legislation, and this will happen over 10 years. You cannot vote or do a calculation on the what will happen in 10 years because the next administration comes in. The CBO, to me, is basically useless. CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, what they're supposed to do, you're supposed to hand them a bill, they're supposed to do the math and come back and say it works. And here's what happens if you move forward. That ship is gone. That's gone. There's no such thing as a true, clear CBO score on a piece of legislation that's accurate. It's not there. All right. So now they want to tell you that this is happening. But I've already showed you your hospitals in indigent care, illegal indigent care, people that cannot pay the hospital, people that cannot pay their bills, people that cannot, do not belong here, is costing this country in the billions and billions of dollars. We're going to feed children in America because that's what we do. We are going to feed children in America because that's what we do. But that does not mean that those children belong here or should be here or continue to be here. And we pay for the education, their health care, their food, their lodging, and everything. You can't afford it. So right now, give me number 44. I am going to tell you this right now. 44. They're in the House Rules Committee. Now, in the House Rules Committee, give me number 46. It started at 1 a.m. All right? I'm not taking up for no damn Democrat. There's not going to be a day I take up for a damn Democrat, but I'm not going to carry Republican water if it's just not the right thing to do. But they had the House Rules Committee at 1 a.m. in the morning, right? Now, these people are in here. I forget how many amendments to the bill they've offered. They're in there offering an enormous amount of amendments. And they want to bring it out of the rules. If they bring it out of the rules, it could get voted on tonight. It could go to the floor, get voted on, and sent to the Senate tonight. Now, who is going to have the time to read 1,100 pages? Who is going to have the time to look and see what amendments have been attached? What are the markups to vote on it? And I'll tell you this, I've always supported, give me, hold on, I have one more I want to show you. Give me number 55, Trump visits Capitol Hill. Now, here is, all of a sudden, Joe Scarborough, when I say is back to being a conservative, remember when, and this dates me, I'm dated, you remember Santorum, you remember the Young Guns? You remember John Kasich from Ohio? Right? Joe Scarborough from Florida? Rick Santorum from Pennsylvania, the Young Guns, right? Going to go in, fiscal conservatives. Now Joe wants to be a fiscal conservative once again, sitting next to Minka Brzezinski. Give me video 8.
Supported raising the cap on salt during the campaign. But there's sticking points from conservatives like Chip Roy, who's saying, which you've been saying all along, Joe, is that we're supposed to be fiscally conservative as Republicans. Right. And if this passes in its current form or even close, it's going to skyrocket the national debt well beyond what it was post-World War II, or they're going to set a new record, 125%, 130% of GDP. Right. That's not supposed to be who we are, so we'll see if they can hold the line there.
Well, I mean, they already set those records.
Okay, so I'm not going to use Morning Joe and MSNBC to validate my argument on anything, but when he says 130% of GDP, I'm telling you right now, the very day that the interest on the debt surpasses the federal income tax anticipation, that's all you can pay is the interest. it's game over. That's when you hear the little music that tells you game's over, and the screen goes blank. That's it, folks. As they say, mark my word. Now, we're going to go off a cliff. Now, all of a sudden, Joe's a conservative, video 9.
It's 20 years. I'm going to say push mainly when Republicans are in office, if you add up the numbers. We're going to come to a cliff. We're going to fall over, and it's all going to come back to this vote. This is the time they have to get serious. Moody's is downgrading us. You've got Ray Dalio and others on Wall Street warning it's much worse than you think it is. Jamie Dimon's getting a little warning. This is not a close call. $37 trillion going toward $38 trillion. And I swear to God, I say it every year. And every year they pass crazy budgets. I don't get it.
And it's a fiscal crisis potentially, but also, Mika, a political one with some of these Republicans, especially in those swing districts, saying, you're going to ask me to vote for something that gives a massive tax cut to rich people and to corporations.
Right.
But make all of these other cuts somehow to make up for it. You want me to get rid of a bunch of Medicaid for people?
Oh, my God.
That's not going to work for me politically, some of these Republicans are saying.
Let's bring
Fiscal, political. I wonder which one they will take. I wonder what they will choose. They're going to choose political. That's the bottom line. 38 trillion. 38 trillion, political or fiscal. We're going off a cliff. Now, all of a sudden, that's what they say. We're going off a cliff. And they pass crazy budgets. No, they don't. We keep passing these CRs. Now, I'm in favor of the tax cuts and the tax structure in this bill. But the reality is, you can't continue. Now, as much as I don't believe in taxes, fiscally with the debt, how do you pay it? Got to do something. You got to cut. Elon Musk, I think Elon Musk is actually like, you know what? You can have this SHI asterisk. Because I don't know what you're going to do with this mess. Because these people don't care about this country. They're whistling past the graveyard. We've played it over and over. So now all of a sudden, they're fiscal conservatives. And go ahead and give me video 17.
Here we are 10 years later still saying the same thing, where there are some members in districts that need to go along with Donald Trump to win the primary, but going along with something like this bill will likely make some of these people that won in Biden districts actually endangered politically, and most likely will make them lose.
This bill in Biden districts, this bill here, like District 7 in Pennsylvania, District 8 in Pennsylvania, District 10 in Pennsylvania. The list goes on. I'm not in favor of the bill. I'm just not in favor. I think we have to pick the day that fiscal responsibility has to be the leader of the day. I don't agree with spending the money. I agree with Donald J. Trump. I'm glad he's president of the United States. I'm glad he won 3 times. I wish the second time. I have people that say, well, look, in 2020, it was not as dangerous. And I have people that say, well, if Trump would have taken office in 2020, these 4 years exposed a lot of stuff. My worry is the 4 years that the deep state totally controlled our country Are we at a point of no return? Take a break.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report. Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service, bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Diane, on video 1 for the Georgia Hour, video 1, I'm going to have a lot of timestamps, but we'll work through that. So I'm just letting you know, you probably knew that going in. Video 1, there'll be several timestamps on that. Okay, so at 10 o'clock, we have the Georgia Hour. I want to ask a question at 10 o'clock. Do you think that the delegates, the structure of the party, the delegates elect their officers, and then the chair does not respect the wishes of the delegates? But the delegates don't have recourse. The state committee has the recourse. It's a pretty interesting situation, but we're going to ask that question because the national committee woman for the Georgia GOP is Amy Kramer, okay? She won. And she's the most recent example of, hey, I need some answers on some things. And Josh won't talk to her. Josh will sit down at these round tables and pretend like he communicates. But all right, that's the Georgia Hour. I continue to, I don't want to say lose focus. That wouldn't be the thing to say. Now, we have Keisha Lance Bottoms running for governor. We have Governor Kemp saying he would like to get some different people in the Senate race. I talked about this morning. Let me see, make sure. I'm not going to be able to get to that one. In the state of Georgia, I want you to follow up this story. In the state of Georgia, we have a bill, our pro-life bill. Give me number 57. So in the state of Georgia, we have the heartbeat bill. And remember, I think, now I did not write this down, but remember, I think the heartbeat bill only passed by like one vote. Seriously. So if state legislators, I'm going to do this at 10 o'clock. I got to stay away from the Georgia Hour, but we are only 1 or 2 legislators in the state of Georgia from the heartbeat bill being overturned. Absolutely. And I mean, it could come up in the next, after 2026, if the election goes the Democrats' way in Georgia. So where we're at now is we have a bill that says 6 weeks that doctor can detect a heartbeat, so you cannot have an abortion after 6 weeks in the state of Georgia. So we have a brain dead decision to keep brain dead pregnant woman alive raises question of Georgia's abortion law. All right, give me number 58. Now, this is all also surrounding Planned Parenthood. How many years in my lifetime, how many in your lifetime have you heard they're going to defund Planned Parenthood, right? I mean, you and I know it's time to stop funding PBS. You and I know it's time to stop funding Planned Parenthood. We know all these things that we need to stop funding, right? So, number 58, brain dead pregnant woman, Washington Post case spurs questions about medical consent. Number 59, brain dead pregnant woman kept alive amid abortion law debate. And here, number 60, we're just hoping he makes it. Family shares update on unborn baby in Georgia, mom who is brain dead on life support. Now, there is medical power of attorney. There's medical power of attorney that you can give someone. All right. And there is a lack of medical power of attorney, which allows some things to happen, that are out of your control. Or you're not able to make the decision and your spouse is saying, no, I'm not going to unplug my wife, whatever it may be. But brain dead is where, and I don't even like to say that, but brain dead is where they decide medically, if we take your ventilator, if we unplug you, if we remove everything that's sustaining your life, that's the only thing that's keeping you alive. You have no brain activity. And there's a decision to be made. So what if you have medical power of attorney? Now, this lady here is pregnant. All right? She is pregnant. And she is brain dead. And the baby is growing. Number 66, the baby is growing. 22 weeks, I think. Now, when will they plan to take the baby by C-section? But I'm telling you, this will be a legal challenge. It'll be on the ballot. It'll be a legal challenge. It'll be something that they will bring up in legislation. In Georgia, this will have national implications, this case alone. So follow this. What say you? How do you feel about this? Who has the final decision in this? Now, let me make sure because we're getting ready to go to the Georgia Hour. I had a couple more things here I wanted you to be aware of before the Georgia Hour. Here is number 40, and this is Tesla. This is Elon Musk saying, I may not spend as much money on politics as I have in the past, right? He may not spend as much on politics as he has in the past. I want to get something in this. Hold on, Diane. I want number 3, video 3, and I'm trying to look. I don't have my glasses on. We talked about this yesterday. Sean Ray with Tucker Carlson. Hold on. I want this one right here. 2 hours. If you can get this for about 2 minutes, 2 hours, 16 minutes, and 39 seconds. 2 hours, 16 minutes, and 39 seconds. I want to do about 2 minutes of this, because there's a lot of questions around this, and I am glad Tucker's asking Sean Ray this question, because I have brought this individual up several times, And this is what has been said to me.
And once I discovered business, that became my new addiction.
What do you make of the claim that you're still working for CIA?
I think it's, whatever. People are going to think what they think, but people don't understand how it works over there. And so, there's a part of me that understands it. I'm like, all right. Like, I didn't really come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? A lot of people say like, oh, this guy just pops on the map and like fucking gets ginormous. And it's like, you didn't see all the back end work that it took to get here. And I started this in my attic as a one-man team and then taught my wife how to film, and it was me and her. And we only did 9 interviews for the first year and a half because I was editing sound, video.
I forgot, Tucker. I forgot about the bad word. Please, please, please. I forgot about the bad word. I never do that without a warning. I'm sorry, Diane. I'm really sorry. The only reason I wanted that to roll, I forgot he rolled out a bad word because I watched this in 3 parts. But it's been said to me that he's still CIA. All right. So watch the whole interview. Tell me what you think. But I will tell you this. When he gets to the point that he says everything is a lie, and Tucker Carlson, both Sean and Tucker Carlson say that Dan Bongino and Kash Patel saying Epstein committed suicide is a lie. This is a tough one. All right, folks, let's take a break. When we come back, it'll be time for the Georgia Hour. Diane, this might be the Georgia 3 Hour. I say that every day, but there's a lot of information here. Take a break.
Massive truck discounts are back at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Up to $12,500 off Silverado 1500s. Up to $9,000 off Silverado 2500s. Don't wait for Memorial Day. Get them before they're gone. $12,500 off Silverado 1500s. $9,000 off Silverado 2500s at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
Welcome this Wednesday morning. Welcome. How are you? I'm your host, BKP. You're watching the Georgia Hour on, let's see. You're watching the Georgia Hour on Voice of Rural America. .com. Now, I'm going to try to put this together. Video 1 we're going to be working off. Last night there was a roundtable event, and at first I thought to myself, and this is Muskogee County, Georgia. Amazing people, amazing patriots, good people. So I thought at first that Muskogee County, the format, they gave all the candidates, like, they only had first vice chair and chairman. Okay, so I like that. And I think they gave chairman 5 minutes to say hello, David Cross and Josh McCoon, and then Lisa Pierce and Alice Olenek and Sally Grubbs 3 minutes to say hello, and then they did roundtable events. Now, I don't know how many roundtable discussions, and I don't know how many roundtables were in the room and what other questions were asked, and I'm looking into that today to see if there's other video available that's going to be coming out. I know there were a couple people in the room with video cameras, and I know Bill Quinn was in the room with the Georgia Record, so I don't know what he was able to obtain in video last night as far as what took place. But Muskogee County did something interesting. They put about 6 of their members at a table, and they let the candidates sit down. They had a roundtable discussion. And I will say, I thought at first, you know what? I really didn't think this was going to be, but it turned out they had one table that was live streamed, mic'd up, and it was really good. And we're going to break that down. So I want to go over a couple things this morning before we get into the video. All right. And, you know, we have our Karens of the Georgia GOP. Give me number 20. So I think I can knock out a couple stories here. Here is the Karens of the GOP, and this is their safe space of the day. And there's the credit card, and there's Sally and Josh, and Josh has got sunscreen on because he's a very white dude, so got to be careful. There's Travis jumping off the boat. Debbie, well, there is Debbie Fredericks and Shelley Winters, Marcy, and oh, look at that. Nancy Babbitt has a little sun umbrella, and Candace Taylor's in the mix there on her jet ski. So number 21, if you blink, as always, right? What happens? The attack dog shows up. Now, I want to start there with Congress, all right? So the Georgia GOP, Josh McCoon is in a terrible mess because whoever wins chairman has a serious problem in the 1st district. They have Candace Taylor in the race. And this is the result of Josh making a deal with Candace Taylor. Obviously, some kind of deal was made. I mean, you didn't expect Candace Taylor all of a sudden to be in love with Ginger Howard. You didn't expect Candace Taylor to start working with Debbie Dooley. You didn't expect Candace Taylor to start saying, hey, I believe in a standing vote, but I believe in paper ballots, but I believe in Josh, and I trust Josh. You did not expect any of that. But if a deal has been reached for Candace to run in the 1st district because Buddy Carter's running for Senate and the Georgia GOP is going to support her, well, this is her. Because Candace is the one, Candace Taylor is the one that submitted, and this has come from several people. I even have the message where she admits to it. She has deleted it, but give me number 32. And but she is the one that entered the complaint on me to start the removal process of me, Candace did. And now I have to break something to her. Candace, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I have a couple sources, and maybe right in Chatham County, maybe to the closest people that you trust and you believe in, maybe to the people like Josh and others in the Georgia GOP that you trusted to support you. There's discussions right now to get people in the race to run against you. I know you're not going to like that. That's going to make you angry. You're going to stomp your foot like you do. And I'm just telling you. You might want to check around the Georgia GOP. You might want to check around your closest allies that you call allies. And you might want to check around Chatham County. Now, yesterday, there's a reason I'm bringing this up. Because Josh McCoon does not have a plan for 2026. He does not. This is all going to go together when I show it to you. What kind of order is this? Pretty sure I'm the first to announce and the one with the most name recognition. So Candace is mad because a poll went out yesterday. A poll in her district went out via text message, and she's angry because she says she has the name recognition. They make up the rules as they go. No, Candace. Didn't know Ben Watson or Jim Kingston was running. Now, I don't know. That announcement has not been made. Who the heck are 5 and 6? But bring it. Now, give me the actual numbers here. Give me number 33. The 2026 primary. This put Josh, Sally Grubbs, Debbie Dooley, they're in a mess. All right? Because they made a deal with Candace Taylor. And the last thing the Georgia GOP is going to do, Josh McCoon, because Candace, you remember you trusted him. You're the one. Watch. See what happens. Now, 2026 primary election for U.S. Senate, Congress, are James Kingston. This is what they're saying, right? So I'll just give you this. They put Candace at number 3. That has made her very angry. But don't forget, I think Jack Kingston in the 1st district, Jim's dad, I think Jack Kingston was there for 17 years? Jack Kingston represented the 1st congressional district in Georgia for 17 years. Then he jumped out to run for Senate when Zaxby Chambliss retired and wasn't successful. And that's when Buddy Carter stepped in. But if Jim Kingston, Candace, I hate to break it to you, if Jim Kingston, Jack Kingston's son, breaks into the race, the Kingston family are connected. The Kingston family know how to raise money, and the Kingston family know how to run in the 1st district and get elected. So we will see. Now, the reason I bring that up is there are 9 districts. There are 9 districts. And between you and I, they won't tell you the truth. Go take that down. There's 9 districts. Now, let's just go here because we'll go with that in a minute. All right. Video 17.
Here we are 10 years later still saying the same thing, where there are some members in districts that need to go along with Donald Trump to win the primary, but going along with something like this bill will likely make some of these people that won in Biden districts actually endangered politically, and most likely will make them lose.
All right, so I want video 1. Now this, we're going to be going back, but I want video 1 from last night, Muskogee County. I want it set at 31 minutes and 45 seconds. All right. Video 1, I want 31 minutes and 45 seconds. I'll let you know when to roll the tape. So there's 9 districts. I want to be clear because Josh cannot sit down and be honest with you. And Josh has created a mess in Georgia. And here is where we put out facts, right? We put out facts. They call it toxic. They call it everything. The last thing they call it is facts because they're afraid of them. And that would be this program. There's 9 districts in America over and over that are a fraction. And they're not in Georgia. You see, right now, Josh will tell you that we returned all of our congressional offices. And we have 9 Republicans. We have 14. We have 9 Republicans off the top of my head that are in Washington, D.C. And we return them every 2 years in Georgia, primarily because of the lines that have been drawn to safeguard those 9. In the future, we have that has dwindled. In the future, it'll be 8. And then in the future, it will be 7 on the current path that the Georgia GOP, Republican Party, and Georgia as a whole is going. No one talks about that. But Josh says, we returned in 2024 9. They're 9 seats. Now, first of all, there's 9 seats across the nation that flip from Democrat to Republican on a fraction. Now, in Washington, D.C., there is the RNCC, the Republican National Congressional Campaign Committee. All right? They decide. The RNC is not going to flush money down the drain because Josh McCoon is Michael Watley's friend. They're not going to do it. The NRCC is not going to say, oh, let's take this chance. Their money is going to go to try to save 9 seats in Democrat areas. Now, I hope we can raise the money. I hope we can get a candidate, and I think we can do it, but not with Josh McCoon because he can't even be honest about it from the beginning. So the last thing the Republican National Congressional Campaign is interested in is fighting over the 1st District. Now, what you will say to me, well, wait a minute. There's no chance there. I mean, a Democrat is not going to win the 1st District. Okay. Point. But let me tell you what they don't want to do. They don't want to have to spend the money protecting it. Yes. Because with a Democrat and Candace Taylor on the ballot in the 1st District, Democrats will pour money into that district. They will use her in the general election. If she's on the ballot for the general election, all right, in Georgia, if she wins the primary and she's on the ballot in the 1st District in the general election, they will make that a national race. And the reason they'll make it a national race to bleed it over across the country with other races trying to paint it as extreme, out there, anti-Semitic, whatever, racist. Now, I'm not attacking Candace. I just know what they're going to do. And Democrats will pour money into that race. And with Candace Taylor on the ballot, Republicans do not want to spend money defending the 1st District when they don't have to. So that's not going to happen. They're working behind the scenes right now. And, Candace did what they asked her to do. She threw the grassroots under the bus. Candace made friends with Brian Kemp. I'm not saying it's totally, completely wrong. She made friends with Brian Kemp. She made friends with Debbie Dooley. She made friends with Ginger Howard. She said, go, Josh, go. And now they're working behind the scenes to get another candidate. And Josh knows it. And Josh knows that the Republican National Campaign Committee is not going to spend money in the 1st District. So they're going to try to get someone in the primary that it will just be a safe district and they can move on. Now, that moves us to the 2nd District in Georgia. The one that is covered by Sanford Bishop. The one that we could flip. The one that Josh did not care. We don't get involved in the primaries. That's what you keep hearing. But we had the candidate last time. We had Donald Trump on the ballot. We had Chuck Hand as the candidate. And Chuck could have beat Sanford Bishop. You can call me anything you want. He could have beat him. Trump was on the ballot. Could have won. But we didn't. We went with the white guy. Well, Chuck's white, but this guy is like extra white. Let's not go down that road, okay? He didn't even live in the district, and he was way too white for Columbus and Albany. I know I shouldn't say that, right? All right, moving right along. So he's asked down there last night. This makes twice that he has misled these people. Give me 30, what I say? Where's it at? 3145. Listen to Josh when asked about the 2nd District of Georgia.
Because there are these nuances that people need to be able to understand.
Anyone else? Question? What are your plans to fully support our candidate for District 2 representative to beat Sanford Bishop?
Yes, sir. I think it is the most important opportunity that we have in this upcoming election cycle. It's the one congressional seat I think we have a reasonable possibility of flipping. The demographics are there if we have the right candidate. One of the things I'm already doing is I'm reaching out to national Republican groups. I've talked to Chairman Whatley about this. I'll be talking to NRCC about it. I'm going to tell everybody I can we need an investment in Georgia too, because honestly, this is going to be a tight House election. He
needs to be a target.
Right. Exactly. And we've got to have the financial backing so that we can attract a grade A candidate who can knock off Bishop.
Okay.
All right. Not going to happen. Now, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. But I'm telling you right now, I do not see Republican money coming from the RNC or coming from the RNCC to knock anybody off in District 2 when they have to raise all their money to try to save the districts that they currently have. I don't see it. And I don't see it. And I'd prefer Josh McCoon. I'd have more respect. I'd prefer Josh McCoon tell the truth. So I'm just going to tell you down there, I will work as hard as I can. This is a fact. I was first vice chair of the Georgia Republican Party. I called Chuck Hand in the primary. And I said, Chuck, if you win the primary, find somewhere for me to park a camper, because I'm going to live in the 2nd District and I'm going to do everything I can to help you beat Sanford Bishop if you win the primary. Well, Chuck didn't have the money. That was our chance. So I don't know who the candidate is, but once for the 2nd District down there, for friends of mine and the people that are believing it's that time to get rid of Sanford Bishop, I agree with you 100%. But as soon as candidates see that they can't raise the money and they can't get the support, as soon as candidates go to D.C. and meet with the Republican National Campaign Committee and they say, we'd like to help you, let's see where we stand once you get on the ballot. Get yourself on the ballot. We'd like to help you. But we got these other ones. RNC. And then in the 2nd District, wait till Josh doesn't pick up the phone if he's the chairman. Hey, Josh, you remember you were going to help us? All right, so we're going to move on from that. That's the 2nd District. That's the congressional layout. Now, I tell you what, he's just campaigning. He doesn't have a plan. I will tell you this. I'm going to end up playing it. But David Cross, this format was in his friggin' wheelhouse. I mean, he answered the questions they threw at him. It was great. Now, let me give you this one here. Let's see. Where is it at? Give me, go ahead and give me Josh. Started at 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Started at 8 minutes, and give me Josh, because I'm gonna show you exactly why the man should not be sporting around. He shouldn't be sporting around the endorsement. I'm going to explain it to you. Give me this video at 8 minutes. Let me see if this is where I want to be.
Here, I think it's so important that our elected officials be engaged with our parties, and that's a great example that's being set here tonight. I'm running for re-election because what we did in 2024, which was win a historic victory, the first time we won a federal statewide election in 8 years, best election integrity program in America.
Hey, Josh, let me correct you because this is like the fifth time I've heard you say it's the first time in 8 years we won a statewide federal election. Josh, we won in 2020. Josh, we won in 2020. Stop going around the state, okay? Because give me video. Let's run this one. Video 6.
Like the national anthem and things. It's like, and it became unbelievable. And I was saying you could get Elvis or anybody else to do a song. There's nothing. That was my intro song right from the beginning. Because as you know, we won 3 elections. Okay. And some people want to.
Now go back to 8 minutes. Go back to 8 minutes with Josh.
And that's a great example that's being set here tonight. I'm running for re-election because what we did in 2024, which was win a historic victory, the first time we won a federal statewide election in 8 years, best election integrity program in America, one of the best field programs in America, raised and spent $23 million to get.
So we're going to cover the $23 million. Josh, turn in the endorsement. Turn in the endorsement. Stop disrespecting my president, Donald J. Trump. Stop going around and saying it's the first federal election. And by the way, Josh, many of us feel out there that David Perdue won also. Many of us feel David Perdue and Donald Trump won in 2020. I won't get into Kelly Loeffler's race. Yeah, Josh. So quit saying it's the first federal election we've won in 3 years. Donald Trump said he won 3 times, Josh. Turn in the endorsement. Now, the $23 million, all right? I tell you what, you got to go watch this and watch David Cross because I'd love to just play that. But I've got to take more time to knock down these false statements of the chairman. Now, I'm listening to these people. He looks at them. Give me, where the hell is this at? I have it here somewhere. Where's the 20? Give me 29 minutes and 45 seconds. 29 minutes and 45 seconds.
Of coming together as a team is something I'm real proud of.
Right, thank you. So you mentioned the volunteers, and I would just kind of dovetail off of that. We had a tremendous turnout of Trump Force 47 volunteers prior to the election, but as you look around, very few of them are really engaged or involved in the Georgia GOP. Do you have a plan to reach out to those essential volunteers for the midterms? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, so we're going to...
All right, I want to stop there. This guy tells you exactly what I've been saying. Trump Force, they came from out of state. Trump Force, they were paid. Trump Force by the RNC. Trump Force, Trump was on the ballot. Give me video 12, video 12, and then come back to where we stopped it there, if you could.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And the difference is, of course, 24, Trump's on the ballot. Right. And what we found time and again, what Republicans have found time and again, when Trump is on the ballot, they do better. When Trump is not on the ballot, they do worse. And Trump's not going to be on the ballot again.
Yeah, some enthusiasm for the midterm.
Here's the facts. This guy says it, not BKP. Hey, all those people, we don't see them. How do you plan to re-engage them? What do you plan to do? Because I've told you over and over and over the Georgia GOP Inc. is not the reason Donald Trump won Georgia. The Georgia GOP Inc. raising money is not the money that was spent for Donald Trump to win Georgia. The Georgia GOP Inc. is not the money that was raised to pay Trump Force 47, pay the rent on Trump Force 47 headquarters, pay the people to man those headquarters. Not the Georgia GOP Inc. And the people did not come out to vote Republican. They came out to vote Donald J. Trump. And these people are not coming back to the Republican Party and joining your party because you did an amazing job. So he asked a question. Let's go back to the 2945 where the question's asked.
Do you have a plan to reach out to those essential volunteers for the midterms? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, so we're going to have to build our field program again. And when I say build, I mean paid staff. And paid staff means you have to have money to pay the staff, right? So having someone in this position that understands how to raise political money is important. We raised and spent over $23 million in the last election cycle. So you don't have to wonder whether or not I'm going to be able to do that. I helped assemble a lot of the staff that we had in 2024. So
yes, you do have to wonder because he didn't raise $23 million. Yes, it has to be built again. And to build it again, you have to raise money to pay the staff. And you need to be with me, Josh McCoon, because as you can see, I know how to raise money. All of it. Check, wrong, check, wrong, check, wrong. All of it's wrong. Now, here are the facts. $23 million. Let me tell you this little story, okay? We have a state committee meeting. It's down at the fish fry, which I do like a good fish fry. Yeah, I like a good fish fry. Never turned one down. So we're down at the fish fry in Perry. We have the first state committee meeting, right? First state committee meeting. And I got more details on this that I'm going to roll out very first of the week. We got to get all these segments to the delegates. So I'm sitting there. I'm the first vice chair of the Georgia Republican Party. I'm in my very first state committee meeting. Josh doesn't tell us anything how it's going to work. He doesn't. You know what the report was? Money raised like in 3 months since we got elected for the electors, to defend the electors, $17,000 was the report. $17,000, right? Now, the Georgia GOP, excuse my French, turn off the radio, but the Georgia GOP's website at that time, I'm not saying it's amazing or immaculate now, sucked, totally sucked. We, 3 months after the fact that Josh McCoon's elected and there's new state officers, the Georgia GOP website still said David Schaefer is chair. The Georgia GOP website did not have a function to donate for the electors. Now, I asked Josh, I said, Josh, you knew this was coming. Fonnie Willis, we knew that we had to defend these people. We knew it for months. Why didn't we make that a top priority on day one? Why 3 months after the fact, there's no option to donate, there's no plan to raise the money, and your report is $17,000? These are facts. Facts. Josh, just like that, you could have changed the name to chairman. Just like that, there could be a pop-up in the middle of the website with the picture of our 3 electors that we're trying to defend. Please help us defend these people against Fonnie Willis and the attacks against Donald J. Trump. Please donate today. We could have put out a national campaign just like that. Please help us. 3 months after the fact, the state committee meeting, it's a fact. It should be in the minutes, but Caroline Jeffords can't keep no damn minutes, but it should be in the minutes. That the report says we only raised $17,000 for the electors. Don't let this man sit at a table and bullshit anybody. So when he says, oh, we have to raise money to pay him, Josh raised $3 million, not 23. The money came in from the RNC. Do not fall for that. You see, I have the video. You have the video. When he first started campaigning, he made a mistake, not in his numbers, but in his campaign speech. And he said a couple times that the Georgia GOP raised $3 million. He switched that. He just says $23 million now, knowing it came in from the RNC and knowing how much damn money he gave to his friend, Travis Bowden. Believe that. $3 million will not be the same with the money infused in campaigns. In 2024, from sea to shining sea, our election cycle generated billions. I mean, maybe close to $1 trillion, but billions. Josh raised $3 million. I have to tell you, if we have a GOP chair that could not have put about $6 million in a defense fund and about $15 to $20 million into a fund to help elect state house members, state senate members, and people around the state that needed it, that chairman should be run out of town. Don't tell that chairman he's some head coach, great Super Bowl champion. He ain't no damn Super Bowl champion. I can't stand the absolute, it's not honest. I can't stand when these people aren't honest. All right. So we talked about the money, the NDA unity. Give me 3618 for Josh on unity.
Of your contact information.
Thank you. Yeah. So I don't have to tell you kind of the state of the party and where everybody's at. What's your plan to bring unity to the party?
So, I think we had a great 2024. I think part of the problem, frankly, is the election process that we have, because you have this, 4 or 5 month process, and it almost always becomes this ugly, negative, divisive thing. And then not only are we starting from behind the 8 ball because, we're going to have this election in June, 5 months of the election cycle's gone, right? But on top of that, you got all these hard feelings to get over, So, for me, I'm going to focus on doing what I've done for the last 2 years, which is to say, let's come to the table, let's work together. I'm going to Fulton County tomorrow morning because we believe the Fulton County Commission.
That's what he's done for the last 2 years. I can look you in the eye and tell you I am part of the last 2 years that he never tried to come to the table and work with others. They're trying to put a plan in right now to prohibit, if Josh gets elected, all right, if he gets reelected, the new crew, as they call them, the new crew, where Betsy Kramer and even Sally Grubb says, it's best we keep the establishment and the leadership parts. All right. That's what they implied down in Toombs County the night before. It's best the establishment stay in the leadership. If you see what they did to the NDA, all right, they're going to take notice and inventory of everyone that does not follow them. Unity to them is submission. So everyone that does not submit, they're going to move you out of the party. Oh, yeah, it's coming. All right. And then if you think the NDA, now Sally Grubbs will say as first vice chair, she thinks we should rewrite the rules. As first vice chair, she thinks there should be some assignments for the first and the second. What they really want to do, it's code for, we want to rewrite the rules. And the way we write them, all right, listen to this, okay? You got to understand, you got to pick up what these bad people are doing. They're trying to demagify Georgia. Every time you hear continuity committee, well, that sounds good. You know what the hell a continuity committee is to them? Is to keep the top in the establishment and not allow the new crew to get a hold. You see, there's several things that's happened in this cycle that they have to end. And ending will be you if they get the chance to do it. But let me explain the cycle that they have to end. They have to end you having contact with the delegates. So the NDA, right? They have to end and change the requirements. They tried. NDA can't have it. The requirements. We had 2 candidates, Kylie Kramer, Lisa Pierce. They did everything they could to say they didn't qualify. So the very first thing they're going to do in the continuity committee is rewrite the state officer qualifications to run. That's what continuity means. State officer qualifications means I could never do that again, what I did. Lisa Pierce can't run. She would not meet the continuity requirements. Noreen Cantor could not run. She does not meet the continuity requirements. That's what they plan to do. Because let me tell you something, the mold got broke, and if they don't get a wrap on it now, all hell could break loose, meaning the grassroots could get empowered. Yeah, God forbid the grassroots get empowered. You need no more than to give money, which you don't trust them, put out the signs and make the phone calls. After that, we got it. You and I know that. They don't want it ever again. Look, when they lost their party planning committee national committee woman, Ginger Howard, when I went into office and they removed me, okay, went against the delegates and removed me. All right. Then Amy Kramer runs for national Republican committee woman from Georgia and beats Ginger Howard. The first thing they said was, OSHI asterisk, how'd that happen? They don't communicate with her. Now, you will say we need to have executive committee meetings, right? Need to have executive committee meetings. That's what you'll say. And in the executive committee meetings, the chairman should handle the business of the party there. And the chairman will tell you about communication. But the executive committee, Amy Kramer, David Cross, when I was on there, Brian Pritchard, I'll throw in Lori McLean, others. Josh doesn't communicate. Josh doesn't feel he has to answer anything. Now, I want to get to a Sally lie. Why not? We can't finish without a good Sally. Let's see. Let me see what else I have here. Let's go with 4425 and see if this is 4425.
There's been talk that we have certain state committee members now who are reaching out to the current chairman and secretary, and they're not even responding to them for weeks. What kind of implementations can you get that have like, hey, and when an email is sent for a request from information, that it's going to get back and then get out to the county chair, to the chairs to know that information?
So I've not been made aware of anything like that, but I'm pretty
persistent. And so if anybody reaches out to me, I would be happy to help facilitate that. I know it is a volunteer position, and most of us do work. I work, Josh works, that kind of thing. But if I'm made aware of something like that, I'm certainly happy to help facilitate that and get to the bottom of what the issue is. Thank you.
Okay, Sally, we're going to ask you to help facilitate something right now, because you sit there and hey, I'm not aware of that. I mean, who in the world is like not getting their questions answered? I mean, I'm not aware of that. We all have jobs. By the way, number 5, let's just throw out there, we do all have jobs. In fact, Josh McCoon, Sally, as you well know, makes $250,000. That's okay. But he makes over $250,000 from where? The state of Georgia. And he also has like that close to 18 grand in travel money, Sally. Yes, we know he has a day job, right? But he could not come up with a second credit card for a bow tie and suspenders at Brooks Brothers in D.C. because one of his cards got compromised. So one of the many times he grabbed out the Georgia GOP number 7 credit card and used it, Sally. But communication, let's go back. Now, let's do this one more time, because Sally, I feel she has a problem with honesty. I just do in general. She sounds so nice. But once she gets on the phone, she is the number 1 Georgia shit starter. I'm going to tell you something. If you elect that woman first vice chair, she'll start more shit around this state and then say very nicely and politely, my prayers in the morning is that we're unified and we don't fight each other. We have to stop fighting each other. Until the next time I get on the phone and I start some shit. Yeah, I know this woman. Now, so Sally, maybe you can help us with this. Because if you're aware of it, because I think you're aware of it, you will help. So give me this. And, Debbie Dushitz is going to probably freak out over this one. But then again, I want back in the damn, I need that free advertising. All right, so give me this. Now, when I say they, not everybody, number 27. Now, here's what I don't like, is I don't like a disrespect to the delegates. I just don't. Now, this woman, Amy Kramer, she's been in politics for a while. She had a bus tour across the United States. All right, it ended up in Washington, D.C. In fact, I think Amy knows this, but there was a lady on her bus tour, I think for the entire country, that is a very close friend of mine. And every single morning I got up to this person not giving inside information, but giving me highlights of the bus tour across the United States, because the American people knew that the 2020 election was stolen, bottom line. So not going into that, she ran for Georgia GOP state committee woman. Now, here's what's important here. Well, 1, the delegates voted her in. I'm not on this show this morning. I'm not begging you to be her friend. The delegates, it's the way it works. They voted her in. And guess what she is? Because every state in the United States has a committee man and a committee woman. And at the RNC, all right, Ginger Howard didn't win. That had Candace Taylor boo-hooing, Debbie Dooley boo-hooing. There's all boo-hooing because Ginger didn't win. Why, boo-hoo. Amy won. Now, what does that mean? That means the national committee woman for the state of Georgia is also on the Georgia GOP executive committee. She's on the executive committee, just like Jason Thompson, a.k.a. Mongo, on the committee, right? Executive committee. Josh has not acknowledged her. Josh has not communicated with her. He's not been very nice to the lady, but she won. Now, what does that mean? That means at every RNC meeting that there's a vote, she has one of our votes. That's how it works. So when you go to an RNC meeting, every chair, Josh has a vote, Jason has a vote, Amy has a vote. So if I don't like something at the RNC, or I think something should be changed, I can tell her how I feel. I feel the grassroots are not being represented. I can tell her how it feels. And she has a vote. Then she's on the executive committee. Now, not to keep going in circles, but I'm trying to stress the delegates made this decision. Josh McCoon does not respect the delegates. They're going to shut that off. I'm telling you, this continuity committee, it is code word for never let this happen again. Amy Kramer. Because, see, Amy Kramer was not a part of the party. Amy Kramer wasn't the county chair. Amy Kramer didn't wash dishes long enough. Amy Kramer wasn't first vice chair. She did not elevate in the way that they feel that you need to elevate to be to be eligible. Amy wasn't eligible for the position according to them. But according to the Georgia GOP, she applied, set them on the ballot, and she ran and got voted in. They're going to change all that. This can't happen again. That's the continuity committee. That's why you keep hearing Sally say, well, it's time to change rules. We agree. We need to change rules. They need to be rewritten. They haven't been rewritten. Why didn't you rewrite them 2 years ago, damn it? Why the hell are you going to write them now? For the first vice chair and the second vice chair to have friggin' assignments. Sally, your ass knew that nobody had assignments 2 years ago. Sally, your ass knew that Josh was shitting on David and I 2 years ago. Your ass knew all that shit. But you didn't stand up for us then. You didn't say to Josh, hey, let's get together and write assignments. You didn't say, hey, Josh, why don't you work with David? No, you didn't. You got on the phone and started stirring shit all over the state. Really? You know you did, Sally. But now Sally is in prayerful mode. She's praying for unity. She's praying for the hate to end. Unless you're Sophia Farouk, then we can hate you all we want. Yes. Sally's full of S-H-I-T shit. When she gets, every time she starts up there, well, I pray we could start speaking with one another again. Would that be me, Sally? Where the hell did that come from? All right, anyhow, getting back to this, because I get tired of their bullshit, their continuity committee, okay? I can't take that. Tell the damn truth, people, all right? So here it is, right? Continuity, Amy. So Amy says, it has now been 2 full weeks since I emailed the Georgia GOP chairman, Josh McCoon, and Georgia GOP accounting director, Karen Henshaw, who is in control of the finances, with serious concerns about the Georgia GOP Republican finances. And they have yet to ever acknowledge me. The Georgia GOP treasurer, Lori McLean, responded that she does not have information I have asked for review. There you go. I followed up again today with Josh, Karen, and Karen, still nothing hours later. Now, for 2 weeks, I'm going to show you the email she sent. But she's part of the executive committee. And you know what? I know exactly. She didn't tell me this. So I got to put that out there because I don't want to, Sally the shit starter to start any shit. I got to stop saying shit. All right. Anyhow, but let me say this. Okay. I know why Amy's asking these questions. You want to know why? She just came back from an RNC meeting. I'm going to bet you, and I don't know it. I don't know it. I'm not Josh. I'm not Sally. I'm not Betsy Kramer. I'm not Jeff DiMaggio or whoever the hell he is. I'm going to be straight with you. I will bet she was asked at the RNC meeting a question or two. I bet she wants this information, so if people at the RNC call her and say, "You're the chairwoman, what's happening down there? Can you enlighten us?" Yeah, she doesn't just want it because she's got nothing else to do. As the RNC National Committee woman for Georgia and the Georgia GOP Executive Committee member, it is unacceptable that not only are donor dollars being abused, but that those responsible refuse to answer basic questions. This isn't transparency. So it's just like David Cross keeps telling you. What's he keep telling you? I'm finding this out. I'm finding this out, right? By having to go do my own research. Now, Josh will say, well, we're transparent. The reason you know about this is because we're transparent. What is happening, I don't care if it's $1, $7,500, or a gym membership, or a damn bow tie. It should be discussed in an executive committee meeting. There has not been an executive committee meeting since last August. There's not been a state committee meeting, my understanding, since they tossed my ass out in the pavement at the Eagles Club. So Josh doesn't share any of this with people. Every time one of these people say he doesn't communicate, hell, don't ask me. And if a state committee member will be honest with themselves, not you, themselves, they will tell you that. Now, the RNC National Committee member for Georgia, I will not be silent, and I sure as hell won't be ignored. Let me be clear, this is not just financial mismanagement. It's a slap in the face to every grassroots donor who gives their hard-earned dollars to fight for conservative values, not to bankroll steak dinners, personal trainers, dry cleaners, and shady payouts. If you can't defend the spending, they sure as hell shouldn't be spending the money. Now, give me this right here. I'm going to give it to you. This is the email, number 28. And number 28. Now, we hear about the steakhouse in Arizona, and Josh, remember, Josh tells you last night, we have the video, we can get it out to you tomorrow. It's in last night. Hey, I was at a steakhouse in Arizona, and yes, I paid for a dinner, and I got all these people to come help us win an election. You know what Josh never says to you? Oh, yeah, we had a $1,700 steakhouse meeting. I paid the bill. And what I was doing is I was meeting with donors to help fund and pay to help pay the bills for our electors. I was meeting with donors across the country saying, could you help us in Georgia so we don't turn blue in the next election? You don't hear that, right? Because I'm telling you, first state committee meeting, right? We didn't even have a website with a donation button. We didn't have a plan. We were months into his administration. There was nothing set up. He had raised $17,000. I'll play that for you next week, maybe. But here's the email, right? Well, I call it good money because we won. The steakhouse, here it is, okay? I'd like to request copies of all the Synovus credit card statements since July 2023 to present. I would like to request who has credit card, this is 29, who has credit cards on behalf of the Georgia GOP? Who has credit cards? Because we have a charge just a couple miles from his wife's office. Now, he got mad and he said, well, this thing has become toxic. They brought my family into it. No, Josh, You brought your family into it because you put your wife's ass in an office at the Georgia GOP Inc. and you said she was the top grassroots person in the whole state. And that's what it meant to you. And you put her in charge of multiple things. So you put your family into it and quit turning it around like somebody's mean to you. Nobody's mean to you and nobody's mean to Jacqueline. Got it? Period. So, hey, we have a credit. We want to know who has these. Is Travis Bowden? Did he have one? Who has a Georgia GOP credit card? All right. Finally, why did you pay $7,500 in December to Travis Bowden? He will not. Now, this falls on our shoulders at the state committee and executive committee, and it's not right. This is a letter Amy Kramer sent to Josh McCoon. Go back. Amy Kramer to Josh McCoon, Karen Henshaw, Lori McLean, David Oles. It's out there. Now, Sally, I got two things I want to do. Let's go back and refresh you on Sally's BS. As she's trying to pray her way into office. I know some of you don't like that, but I get tired of that stuff. Give me 4425.
There's been talk that we have certain state committee members now who are reaching out to the current chairman and secretary, and they're not even responding to them for weeks. What kind of implementations can you get that have like, hey, and when an email is sent for a request from information, that it's going to get back and then get out to the county chair, to the chairs to know that information?
So I've not been made aware of anything like that, but I'm pretty persistent. And so if anybody reaches out to me, I would be happy to help facilitate that. I know it is a volunteer position and most of us do work. I work, Josh works, that kind of thing. But if I'm made aware of something like that, I'm certainly happy to help facilitate that and get to the bottom of what the issue is.
Thank you.
All right, I want to come back to that point. I want right there where it stopped, okay? I'm going to show you one more thing. So, Sally, I know you're watching, or I know you have your team watching, or maybe Cue Ball is watching, or one of the Georgia GOP Karens is watching on your behalf. But I know someone is. So we're reaching out, Sally. We're reaching out. Because you pretend you're not aware of this. You pretend you don't know this. So if you don't know it, we're reaching out. Remember, you're going to facilitate. So we're asking you now, facilitate these answers, okay? We're waiting. Now, go right there with that one right there. Go with that one.
Am I understanding that there are no written job description activities for your first vice chair?
Yes, I do think there needs to be a revision to the rules, by the way, because if you look on the Georgia GOP website, the rules are posted there. And for the first and the second vice chair positions, it pretty much, in essence, paraphrasing, says that those two positions serve at the pleasure of the chair.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about specific activities that you would be responsible for.
No, it's not delineated in the rules.
Would you be in favor as the first vice chair of establishing something in writing about what you're supposed to be doing?
Absolutely. And that's,
as well as the second vice?
Absolutely. I think there needs to be rule revisions.
That's very odd.
It's been that way for a very long time.
I know, and we've been sucking high for
You're right. You're right. And I have already mentioned that those rules need to be, I think there needs to be a complete rewrite of the rules. And I think, unfortunately, and that's one of the reasons why I'm advocating for a continuity committee, because I believe that every 2 years we're reinventing the wheel every time. And every 2 years we reinvent the rules committee and the resolutions committee and all that kind of stuff. We need a committee that's a non.
Got it? Continuity committee. You got it? She knows it's been that way for years. She's never brought it up. Why didn't she bring it up for first vice chair? Because she had a friend run for first vice chair. Why didn't she say the last time we had an election for first vice chair, my friend who I supported, the Marxist, I was going to get the rule changed for her. No. But now it's time to put a continuity committee in. And we all know what a continuity committee means. Now, I have... Give me... I'm missing something here. And I'm sorry, I'm missing a page that I want David Cross. Give me David Cross. I'm trying to figure out when he sat down and some of the fast forward I want to do. Can you get the video to where David Cross sat down there and started answering some questions, and then we can get out? It's already 11:02, but they only give them like 4 minutes to answer questions. Can you get it to where David Cross started answering questions so I can get a just start playing it if you can pick out where he sits down and they start asking him questions, and I'll throw my paw in the air and wave it like this, like I just don't care, when I want to stop and keep going.
Joseph says.
Oh, we're good over here.
Ready? Yeah. Okay. You may now begin.
David, good evening.
Hi.
Good to see you. So great to have you here. Thanks for coming down for the trip.
Thank you.
I know it's hard at times. Question: what is your biggest contribution to the Georgia GOP, and what are you most proud of having done in your current position?
Oh, wow. So I have no official role at the Georgia GOP. The second vice chair has no defined duties as specified in the rules of the Georgia GOP. But what I've done is I continue to do my work on election integrity, election security. I've spent so many hours and so many days down at the Gold Dome. They ought to have a room down there named after me and Darlene Favorito. I spent a lot of time working on passing 2 new rules that the SEB actually passed to make our elections more secure. And they said, but we can't implement them in time for the 2024, but we'll do it next year. And then when they got together this year, they said, oh, no, we really can't do that right now. So I've had a lot of time on that. We also built a tool to make it so that we can look at the voter rolls, and the voter roll tells us like where the hard Democrats are, where the hard Republicans are, and where everybody is in between. And in Georgia, 40% of the voters we don't know how they vote.
Right.
But you know what? If we can isolate them, if you got a hard Republican here and a hard Republican here, and an independent lives in the middle, you can probably have a conversation with that person. So we built a tool to help make that happen. And actually back in February, I sent emails to every single county chair so that they would know who the hard Republican households were in their county, so that they would have easy way to reach out to them and hopefully bring in more delegates. Because at the convention that's coming up, we ought to have like 4,000 people there. We're going to be lucky if there's 1,500. All right.
Oh, thank you very much.
Sorry.
That's okay. So we had a tremendous turnout of Trump Force 47 volunteers prior to the election, but very few of them seem to be involved or join the party or be involved in the party right now. What's your plan to reach out to those voters to get them involved for the midterms?
All right. So specifically what's...
All right, what he meant, and I want to fast forward this a little bit, okay? Like, I want you to fast forward it like every 30 seconds if you can. About a minute. Take that about a minute forward, and let's see where it's at. What he meant by the 4,000, as you can see, David answers questions. So for anyone out there that, oh, David wants to burn it down, and he doesn't want us unified, and no, he's worked on different ways to identify the voters out there, to help you on the local level with the counties, to help you in the districts. He's done an enormous amount of work on election integrity, and he does not have an official role, and Josh never gave him an official role. And when he says there should be 4,000 people, he's correct, because you got to keep this in mind. Josh is not prepared to handle this. He's not. And Josh doesn't want it on his resume that a Democrat won wild chairman. We'll go into that in another day. But what David means by 4,000 people should be there, if that catches you off guard, in our county where I'm at, all right, according to the voter turnout, we were able to have 124 delegates at our county, a small county. We could have had 124 county delegates, and we had 25 people show up at our convention. So what we did is we had Trump Force 47. We got Donald Trump elected, and you know what we didn't do right after that? We didn't have a Georgia GOP campaign on how to sustain it. He's telling you now we got to rebuild it. You know, November, instead of partying, steakhouse, bow ties, you know, you could have took a minute after November and started a program of retaining those people, starting a program to saying, hey, come to our meeting. You know, we really enjoyed having you at the dinner party. Come to the meeting Thursday night. But we didn't do that. The Georgia GOP did not have a post-2024 election plan. But you want to trust them to have a 2026 election plan. Hell no, I'm not going to trust them to do that. Now, give David a little more time here. Go ahead.
Yes, give us a 5-minute one.
Where would you like to see the Georgia Republican Party at the end of your term, Mr. Chairman?
Oh, wow. All right, so that's a wide open question. So in the last 2 years, the Georgia Republican Party has only raised about $3 million. When you consider that Georgia is the 8th largest economy in the country, $3 million is a rounding error. Okay, one of the things I want to do is roll out a new initiative called the 21%, and I want to get 1% of Republicans across the state. All right, that's 20,000 people to give $20 a month to the Georgia GOP. If we can do that, that's $400,000 a month coming in. That's a lot of keeping the lights on money, and it's a lot of moving the needle money in a lot of the counties that are underfunded. And you can get that mass funding from coming across from the grassroots. But the grassroots aren't involved right now because they don't trust them. They don't trust the party. I mean, I've already exposed a lot of the malfeasance and spending that's going on. Josh is using the company credit card right now to put personal expenses on it. And here's the thing. He'll say that, oh, it just happened one time. It happened 12 times that I know of, okay? And here's the crazy thing. I'm the second vice chair of the Georgia GOP. You would think that there would be an executive committee meeting where he would call us in and sit down and go, I screwed up. I made a mistake. Here's how we need to fix it. I want to make you aware of it. But instead, it's left to me to be running for this thing, to go through and be the financial guy to find this stuff out. So where do I want to be at the end of this thing? Obviously, I want to elect Republicans. Obviously, I want to kick John Ossoff, the hell out of here. He's got to go. That's the obvious things. What I want to do is I want to rebuild the party and make it so it's incredibly strong. All right, we got 5 more minutes. We're good. Right now, to me, it feels like we have counties that have dwindling kingdoms of smaller and smaller people, where you got poor people that feel like they've got a lot of power over a really small area, and I want it to blow out. I mean, all the counties that are out there. I'm in Gwinnett County at a regular Gwinnett County meeting with 800,000 people that live there. We're lucky if we get 55 or 60 people to show up to something like that. That's insane. We should have people, clamoring and saying, "I want to be there. I want to grow." My dad was a home builder. I know how to grow things. I own my own business. I know how to grow things.
Gwinnett County had poor leadership.
You don't think? Oh, come on. Come on.
All right, move that up about 30 seconds and hit play again, and we'll get out, Diane. I know it's after 11.
The Georgia Republican Party on the website. I'm not going to dive in and give you every last little detail that's in there about initiatives that we're doing against Democrats, but I'm going to show you where your money's going. I want to make it so that when people go onto the website, they can look at things and go, I don't feel like my money's being wasted on steak dinners and cleaning bills. I want to know that my money's going to these different initiatives. In Georgia right now, we've got 22 counties where where the counties voted for Trump, but there's a Democrat in office, for sheriff. We can flip those things for $5,000 a piece. And I've already got somebody who wants to do it. He just didn't get the funding from the Georgia GOP to do it. And if you get those counties to flip over to to Republican sheriff, you're going to see a lot of other offices are going to flip the same way. Yes, sir.
How much money are you alleging has been misspent by the party?
For the audience online, the question was, how much money do you allege was misspent?
Yeah, so how much money was misspent right now? Let's do the math in my head. Like somewhere like around $30,000 or so. The worst part of the money that was misspent was there's a guy here tonight, a bald guy named Travis. He used to be the executive director here. He was executive director for exactly 1 year, all right? And the RNC said, he's got to go. He's underperforming. He's been Josh's best friend since college. When I become chairman, I'm not hiring my best friend, all right? My best friend's actually my wife. But I'm not hiring a friend, all right? We're probably going to keep the current guy, if and until I can get some additional resumes, and then we can, check people out. But, the worst part is that, so Travis was let go in mid-June of last year, right? And he continued to draw a paycheck the rest of June, all of July, all of August, and then in December, he got a $7,500 Christmas bonus. That's what he called it. That's $21,200 flushed down the toilet. I want my money back. That's insane.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Go to Muskogee County. These are facts. These are facts. All right. Go to Muskogee County Republican Party. All right. Facebook page. Muskogee County Republican Party Facebook page. Second, you guys did an amazing job last night down there. Great job, Muskogee County. Great format. I really liked it. I'd like to hear about some of the other tables. Go listen to every single thing. You can listen to all of Josh. You can listen to all of David's great questions. I'd like for you to go listen to David Cross and not just take it from me. He has answers. He has a plan. Now, Josh, if he spent 21 grand this way, if he got some money over here, it's okay. You should just ignore it, right? You should just ignore it. I got some money over here. Ignore it. There's a reason why they got rid of my ass, because I wanted to look behind the curtain. I kept asking questions. I kept wanting to go to the office. Be damned. He's got to go. All right. So Muskogee County GOP, great job. The Karens at the water park, number one. And then if you blink, the Karens, right? Number one, the Karens of the Georgia GOP, their safe space. They were over at the water park, right? And if you blink just like that, boom, the attack dog shows up. We took the Karens of the Georgia GOP over to the bumper cars. And we have number 8. There we go. And Candace got in this one. Candace, the GOP Karens. And if you blink, whoa, the attack dog shows up. And then we thought it was a nice day and they should get out a little bit. So we got them out on the lake, little R&R out there where they could be safe, because the Karens of the Georgia GOP are easily offended and they get upset real easy. And we have to have safe spaces for them. Number 20. And there they are. I want to be out there on a jet ski like John Fredericks and Renner brother Shelley Winters. And there's Travis jumping in. The Shark has the credit card for the day. The GOP Karens. And there's Candace and Debbie do shits. And Josh has extra sunscreen on. And Nancy Babbitt has an umbrella. And then if you go to 21, oh, the attack dog. That attack dog gets me every time. That's a real wolf. Just saying. And then this one, you guys are making these and sending them to me. Now, I lost one. I'm trying to find it. Someone sent me an amazing graphic. I can't find it anywhere. I can't remember if it was email, text. I'm looking through everything. But I love this one, number 68. You guys are making them left and right. 68. I absolutely love this one. This is the Georgia GOP Inc. Remember that Josh McCoon's one of his best friends, John Garst, used to be a registered Dominion lobbyist. And Josh says, you remember, every time you say paper ballots, you do realize Josh McCoon says that's the position of the Georgia GOP Inc. Go listen. He does not say that's my position. Now, what he's going to say, he's going to argue, and he says, well, I officially speak for the Georgia GOP, so that's why I say. Always remember, Josh says on the paper ballot question, that's the position of the Georgia GOP. And I support that. Okay, go Joshy. There's the karaoke team. And if you're wondering, Josh was sweating to the oldies, number 69. There you go. Here's my credit card. I got my headband. I'm sweating it off. Nikki Haley, 2024. Personal trainer. Go ahead and throw me video 15 in. I need that one. I need that one for me. Video 15.
Afternoon, everybody. No! Afternoon, everybody. No! Afternoon, everybody. No! Afternoon, everybody. Norm!
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk bone underwear. I'll see you tomorrow morning.